Hello everyone, time to finish the triathlete of videos, I guess. This one is about Rudgear and how fucking wrecked he is. So, beside the part where his fucking title is Lone Swordsman and he has an attack def bond skill, can you just imagine how stupid this is? Can you imagine if, like, Long Ku had a weapon called Solitary Blade, oh wait, he does, and then had, like, Attack Def Bond on it? That would actually have been better than what he got. Still, the point is, it doesn't make sense. They truly did not give a shit, which is a shame. I really like the art of Rutger. Really has a really good attacking spec and Earth Heart, as well as a pretty solid idle art. So it's quite a shame to see that this is what he got. Saying Edge is not bad, it's just that's it kind of deal. Saying Edge is not difficult to get. At the very least, Attack Def Bond is one of the best, absolute best A skill of this game at this point. So he's gonna be good fodder. The problem is Rudgear is amongst the best unit of FE6, one of the most useful unit of that game, just because enemies are so difficult, so strong, and he actually ends up having pretty good attack while hitting over 100% crit fairly easily, which makes him one of your better units when it comes down to that game. The problem is, then they translate it into heroes, and he's basically a attack plus Long Ku with some defense. And no pref? No pref? Because why? Why half pref, right? Idun, honestly, the way I see it, Idun should have been a GHB, because Rudgear is on the enemy side, but it only lasts for like 1 or 2 turns. After you speak to him with, I think, Chlorine, he joins you. He joins you really quickly. He's one of the first character to join you, actually, on your party, I believe. It's been a while since I watched Mango's Let's Play of it, back when he was actually doing Fire Emblem stuff. But yeah, that's kind of it. He just joins you automatically, whereas Idun is just following Zephiel's orders and just is there as basically the scourge of humanity, basically. And you have all this shit right there, right? You have all this shit. And Idun's the one that suddenly is on a banner, whereas the character that is an enemy unit for 2 seconds is a GHB. That's like if the Fallen Heroes banner had Fallen Celica as a GHB and Fallen Takumi as a banner unit. Why? It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, as for +1, obviously he gets an extra point in attack and an extra point in speed, which is pretty solid for him. It's pretty good for him, definitely helps him, but the problem is then you have to compare him to this. I'm using +10 variant of those units because of the merge update for GHB units, so it's a bit more even for everyone, not just Long Ku. But yeah, I'm using attack refine because otherwise he's behind in attack for both of those by 2 points because he doesn't have a pref. You can go for a def refine if you want. You're just going to be a less offensive oriented Navarre. You'll be worse than Long Ku in attack as well. And just kind of at that point, why bother, you know? You can just build him as a def tank to some extent, but you need no follow-up to make that work really well, and at that point there's a lot of characters that does so much more than he can. He's basically legendary Roy without a pref, without a C skill, without anything, and a slightly worse stat spread on top of it. Yeah. So if you're comparing stats, as you can see with Navarre, I obviously went with full on Dragon Flowers. The reason is he has 168 BSTs in Gen 2.5, so he can only get 5 upgrades with Plowers. So Navarre has 3 less health, same attack, 1 less speed, 5 less def, that's the biggest part, and 1 more res. The thing is, Scarlet Sword allows him to just chug AoE non-stop like it's nothing, and Rudgear can do that to some extent, but he needs to do one fight beforehand, which means he takes damage, which, because he took damage, you're better off not using AoEs, but rather use double Brazen with Desperation. That's kind of just what it is. So, overall, Navarre is better straight up, because he's, to some extent, able to take more damage, because he just doesn't take hits in general. And then you have Lonku, which is even worse, because I went for a def refine here to showcase just how look-alike their stats are. Same attack, same speed, 1 more HP at the cost of 2 def and 1 res. By the way, one is in a 3 to 4 star unit, and the other one is a GHB. One will take you 6 months to max him through Grails, if not more. The other one will take maybe a month, 2, because summoning red is consistent. And if you actually want to have more offense, so you can actually build on the defense instead, or had even more attack, or more res, go for a brazen set, Lonku does the same thing. You can just actually kill his refine to defense and go for life and death instead. Then you have more attack than Rudger, more speed than Rudger, more HP than Rudger by 1. Actually, no, you wouldn't. You would have 1 less HP, but still. The point is, Brazens will synergize better with Lonku because he has more attack. That's just the way it is. Since you'll be in Desperation, your def res becomes kind of irrelevant, and Lonku has so much HP, getting in Brazen and Desperation is a joke. So going for life and death is actually not that bad. Then you run double Brazen, like Brazen attack def, Brazen attack def again if you want to have even more def. And suddenly you're looking at 73 attack. You tend to be able to kill most units unless they're blue. And Rutger can do that. Well, he can do that, but with less utility, because he loses 5 attack because he doesn't have life and death in his sword. In fact, he doesn't have shit. So one is a better AoE spammer than he is, the other one is a better all-rounder than he is, and yeah, the only thing you really got for him is his bulk. So unless you run bonds, which kind of works on him, it's not worth mentioning. Now, this is rare I actually have to use this rule, but my rule when it comes down to GHB Tempest Trial unit is quite simple. If the unit is not good enough to make it to A+, I don't have to make a build. If the unit is completely outclassed by every other unit in every way possible, in every case of the case, I don't bother making a build, period. And Rudgear falls in both of those categories. He's basically a better Marissa to some extent. That's like the best way I can put it. He's a better Marissa to some extent. Except, here's where lies the problem. He doesn't have a pref. Now, this is not too bad of a problem until you realize one thing. He is Gen 2.5. Have we gotten a single refine that is Gen 2? Think for a moment. No, we haven't. Not a single Gen 2 unit got a refine. The closest we've got are trainee units, aka Young Tiki. So him getting a refine, not happening for at least a year, if not 2. 2 years. 2 years before he possibly becomes irrelevant. So, yeah, that's a yikes. Honestly, if he does get a pref before that, it'd be nice, but the thing is, Marissa might actually end up becoming better than Rudgear in general as a unit. Because the thing with Marissa is she's a Gen 1 unit, or possibly Gen 2? Is she? I'm actually curious now. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, she's Gen 2, so she's not getting a pref anytime soon either. Well, possibly. Who knows? Who knows? But hopefully she does, and if she does, she will most likely outclass Rudgear. It's the same kind of scenario where Navarre versus Lonku, where Lonku used to be absolutely better, then you have Navarre that got a refine and actually ended up being better than Lonku. Not by much, but to some extent. As it is, though, that's all I have to say. There's no build to really showcase if there's nothing to showcase. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. That's a yikes, honestly, because Rudgear is a fan favorite. I really wished he was better than this, but then you saw the fucking chibi for the banner in advance, and then you're like, oh, Slaying Edge. Well, guess he's fucked! Kind of a shame, because, like, his chibi definitely has, like, a lot in it. His art has a lot in it. It's just this kit and stat line that just kind of, eh. Oh well. With that said, that does it for my entire update on the update, I guess. So I'm gonna see you later or on Discord. See you all later.